Hello everyone! I'm your man Alex Smith, coming at you live from the fucking apocalypse. I got my new Mario shirt on. I wore it on a first date recently, and let's just say she thought we would be good friends, but she didn't want to go on a second one. What better way to start 2022 than with a Q&A video? Let's get into it. Anonymous asks, do you have a dream mic or piece of musical gear? Up until very recently, my dream guitar that I wanted to get was the Fender Acoustasonic Jazzmaster, and I saved up all my bucks for a really long time, and I got it, and it's very cool, and I love it. In terms of microphones, I really want to get an SM7B, because I think it would suit my voice. Yeah, that's all I can think of. I hope that was satisfactory. If you could record in one studio anywhere in the world, what/where would it be? And that's from Matt. First of all, thank you, Matt, very much for the question. Secondly, I am the worst production student ever, because I actually don't know that many famous studios. I guess Abbey Road, but I'm not even that big of a Beatles fan. The real answer to this is I don't know, and I'm sorry. I'd like to record in your studio, Matt, and I will in this coming year because you're the absolute best, and I love you very much. What direction do you want to take your next album? Will it be as narratively driven as your last? That's from Anonymous. Yes and no. I have kind of 3 ideas on the go at the moment for EPs. 2 of them are kind of back to the standard, this is a collection of bops style of making music. One of them is incredibly narratively driven, so much more than slow burn. But the immediate thing that I'm writing, no. Have you ever been confronted by Satan or Jesus Christ in your life? Yes. I document the experience in my 2017 video, How to Write a Song with Your Man Alex Smith, available now on YouTube. Was a line partially inspired by I Will Follow You Into the Dark? I feel a lot of musical parallels between the two, despite being lyrically near antithetical to each other. Rebecca. That's a really interesting one. I went back to have a listen to it, and yeah, I can really hear what you mean. I can hear it in like the way it ebbs and flows, but no, not on any conscious level. That being said, I was writing the bare bones of a line way back in like 2012, 2013, during which time I would have been listening to the 2010 version by Kurt Hugo Schneider, which is actually the version that I did a cover of on YouTube, available now. But no, thank you very much for that question. Interesting insight. You've experimented with a few different song styles/genres in your past albums. Is there a genre you haven't done that you'd like to try in the future? That's from Sharmini. Thank you very much, Sharmini. I've always really loved chiptune. I'd love to do a chiptune song. I also have kind of like concepts in my head, like the first dance at a wedding, like the kind of song that would be good over that, or a coming-of-age indie film, the anthem that would represent like the final scene in that. Like I like concepts and then imagining the song that would go over that. Aside from that, I'd really like to explore the Western thing a bit more because people really like it when I'm a cowboy. I don't know what to tell you. People just really like it when I'm a cowboy. So I have some ideas in the hole for that. What is the most unusual fan interaction you have ever had? That's from Cassie. For the most part, I found that every interaction with a fan is just some nice person who wants to talk to you after the show and like get photos and stuff. So any unusualness is usually people just being nervous or, you know, a little bit awkward. Like I'm incredibly socially awkward. It's so weird when someone that I don't know comes up to me and they know me and they like my music and they're like, oh my god, you know, I love this song, or can I get the chords to your song? I'm always like, I'm nothing. But it never gets old. It's always incredibly heartwarming and I love it. And thank you everyone who takes the time to say nice things, because it really helps me get through the day and this difficult life path I've chosen. Do you ever get imposter syndrome, and how do you overcome it? That's from Darcy. Yes, I do get massive imposter syndrome, and the way I overcome it is I just think I do fucking suck. I am an average singer, I'm a subpar guitarist, but I fucking love to do this, and as long as I love doing it, it doesn't fucking matter what anybody thinks, you know? Eventually, if you just keep doing the thing that you love to do, then you start to stack up achievements, and you're not an imposter because you're doing it, and that's the destination. This is it. You're doing great. Keep going. Who or what inspires your music? From Ebony. If we're talking influences, then it's your classics. It's your Queen, Meatloaf, Bo Burnham, Elton John. If it's inspirations, just like world inspirations, all of you guys, honestly, because if I wasn't getting some sort of feedback, I know I just said about not listening to the negative voices, but the positive voices. That support really helps. Being rich, being famous, or both. That's from JJ. Rich enough to live off music and famous enough to be able to sell tickets when I have shows and not have to work 3 jobs, which I currently do. That's all I want. What is it about music that you love in terms of listening and writing? From Tim. I love that every melody that is possible is out there, and anyone in the entire world could write the greatest song ever. Yes, having a fancy education could help you articulate it quicker, and having, fancy gear could maybe have a little bit more polish, but the fundamental building blocks of music are completely accessible to everybody, as long as you have an imagination. I am not the most cognitively gifted individual, and I love that someone like me is still able to write music. I love music, fuck yeah. Do you have any songs you wish you could go back and re-record, rewrite, or do differently? From group chat. No, tell you what, fucking everything I put on YouTube before I went to do music technology at the con, cause holy fucking shit. My cover of Zombie, where the bass is like fucking 90% louder than everything else, what the fuck was that? My cover of Only You, why did I think it was okay to use that MIDI piano? You're done. You're done. What are your plans for 2022? Anonymous. I have a bunch of massive plans for 2022, including a very big personal goal of mine, finally reaching 1,000 Spotify 500 spa 400 spa and 50 for 400 Spotify followers, more or less, by the end of the year. I really want to improve my internet presence because I feel like gigs might not be a go this year. And I don't want to reveal too much because if it doesn't happen then that's sad, but I will say that I have a bunch of musical theatre covers that I want to do because I just love doing them. I also have some normal covers that I'm going to do. I have 3 music videos that I want to record this year from Slow Burn. We will see how that goes. I also have 3 EP ideas that I have on the go as well. But this really all depends on what is happening in the world with COVID and my personal financial situation, because this whole operation is funded by me and my patrons, and shit's expensive. But I have lots of really exciting things coming in this coming year, and I can't wait to get stuck into it, and I'm really excited to show you all the things. You keep talking about your Patreon, but why should we support you? Thank you very much, anonymous question asker. It is hands down, no questions asked, the most effective and direct way to help me make my art. Not to mention, you get access to behind the scenes videos, exclusive videos that no one else gets to see, demos, songs and stuff, and also it's just a great way to actually communicate directly to people who like my music. Like, I can actually communicate with the people who I know are actually listening. It's the best way to make music. I highly recommend it. And that's all the questions. Thank you everyone who submitted one. Thank you for watching this, and a massive thank you to everyone who's listened to and supported my music in 2021. Thank you to my patrons as well. It really means so much more than you could ever know, knowing that there are people out there actually listening to my art. I put everything that I have into this. I put everything into Slow Burn. Thank you so much for giving that the amazing reception that it got. And yeah, I just thank you. 2021 was a fuck of a year. It really got to me in the second half there. But I'm so proud of you for still being here, and I'm really proud of everything that you've achieved, even if all you achieved was still being here. That's enough. You're enough. And I'm really excited to see what you do for 2022. 2022 is gonna be a tough one as well. So let's all be our best selves and help each other through this tough time. Be kind to a stranger, check in on your loved ones, be nice, just be nice to people. It's hard to exist in the world. And let's do this. Lots of love. Why miss?